All right, everybody, this is the hole behind the couch. So, I mean, this is like a small hole, almost looks like a small punch. Basically, the back of the couch hit it, and this is what I'm going to be using to fill the hole. I bought a little kit from Lowe's, like Home Depot, and it came with this little spackling and a little way to spread it, a little putty knife. And so it also comes with sandpaper, and it comes with a little plastic mesh. But as you can see, there's still drywall in there. So I'm just going to use this to fill it in. It might take a couple applications, but and also too, it starts out pink, and then when it dries, it turns white. So that's another way you can tell if it's ready to paint or ready to sand. And it's pretty firm, so it should stick in the hole nicely, hopefully. So I'm just going to attempt to fill this hole in. It's very firm, so I'm going to use a lot of it. Like you said, it might take a couple applications because it might dry and shrink a little bit. So make sure you use plenty. And this is starting to move around a little bit because that drywall is loose in the back. So I'm trying to be gentle here, and like I said, I might have to use a second application because there's too much movement in the drywall in order to put pressure on it. So I'm basically just trying to do the first step and fill it in, and not trying to get it everywhere. So I'm going to scrape this back. So if you have a friend or something that punches a hole in the wall, this is kind of like the same, pretty much the same repair. And don't worry about this pink. Like I said, it will dry white, and then you can continue to fill in. So it doesn't have to be perfect the first time. You're just trying to fill that initial hole, and then come back with a second coat and we'll fill that in. That's about all I can do now, because every time I push on it, it sinks in, so I'm doing more damage than good. So just let that dry, and we'll come back probably, in an hour or two. As soon as that turns white, it's sandable and it's ready to paint. So what we'll do is we'll come back and add a little bit more to it, because there's still a little bit of hole there. You could probably, if you had the same kind of paint, go over and paint it, but it's definitely going to be noticeable, especially if you have a rental property or you're renting. That is not going to pass if you paint it now, but if you come back and put another coat on it and fill it in to where it's level, and then you go and get a swatch, basically wherever that hole was, you pull out a piece of wall, and you can match that color, and you can possibly, especially since it's behind the couch, you can probably fill it in and then paint it, and it'll be really, really hard to notice if there was a hole there. But you might be able to get away with it if you have made a deposit and you have a hole in your wall. It's better off spending like 20 or 30 bucks or 40 or 50 bucks. This right here is like, if you buy this separately, it's like 8 bucks, and then this is like $1 or $2. So you're basically going to spend less than 10 bucks to fill that hole. And then you can get a little can of paint that from Home Depot or Lowe's, and you can get one of those samples, and you can probably spend like 8 bucks. So basically for around $20, you can fix and repair a hole like this, and then you won't have to worry about your deposit. Because if you got a hole like this and your deposit's like 500 or 1,000 bucks, I'd rather spend the 20 bucks and get my deposit back. So Anyway, I hope this helps you out. And like I said, I might come back later and make another video of the finishing step. I'll put one more coat on it, let it dry, and then I'll probably do a light sand, and I'll come back, and I do have the proper color so I can see if I can match this good enough to where it'll pass inspection. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.